So, I found this by accident. It's a subreddit where all the skill-issue geriatric gamers go to die.
Bring out Janine!
It's the Over 30 Gamers sub, and specifically this one thread, which I could mine for content but probably won't, because I am nothing if not capricious. But this one thread, games you will never have an interest in playing, and why, is of particular interest to me because you can't answer this question without leaving a lot of yourself on the table. A question like this takes guts to answer. That's why I will never answer it myself and instead pick over the honesty presented, like a content crow on this battlefield of hopes and dreams. One answer on this subreddit really shocked me. I saw it over and over, and it was Hollow Knight. Bro, like what? This is Hollow Knight, the game that made Metroidvanias cool again. The game that enthused a generation, a game that took the Dark Souls undead angst and made it palatable by slapping some Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas flavoured paint all over it. Hollow Knight with the adorable characters, the palpable lore and superb soundscape. You know it's superb because if you close your eyes, you can still hear it. I was shocked. So many gamers unwilling to give this modern classic a chance. And it's Australian. Australian. You don't know how much I like Australia. It's my second favourite British colony, and receives a third of the love it deserves. So, it was imperative that I supply some re-education to these dusty-assed ancient gamers, and forcibly alter their incorrect views by creating this. The first ever patented Industrious Bug Strategy Guide, presented in Bug Vision. Oh, no, scratch that, that sucks. Now, I alone am qualified for this task by possessing two unique qualities. 1, I am over 30 by just a hair. And 2, I have finished Hollow Knight. Waits for applause to subside, checks watch, okay. That's enough, YouTube doesn't pay by the hour. Oh wait, YouTube doesn't pay at all. So this guide is exclusively for that minority that is A, old, B, noob. Everyone else, get out, scat.
My hidden ways are closed to thee.
Now that those infantile, what's the opposite of a noob? A proob? Now that those infantile proobs have gone, the first thing you're going to do is put the Hollow Knight cartridge into your console and flick the on switch. Now, for this build you need a lot of life. You know, that thing you don't have much of now that you're over 30. So you're going to have to grind shards, but don't worry, it's not as painful as it sounds. And before you can grind shards, you're going to have to rescue a capitalist. But don't worry, we can execute him later. His name is Sly. Because the lovely Australians behind this gem of a game know a doomed system when they see one. Or maybe they just love Stallone. Either is good. He's here on the map. On the way there, be very conservative, always healing after taking damage, and poking about looking for Geo. You'll need it later. To get to where Sly is, you have to defeat a mad pregnant bug. She's not that hard. Her craziest attack is called Get These Monsters Out of Me, where she slams herself into the ground and ceiling repeatedly. Pregnant women, am I right? Just wait at the very edge of the room, and when she's real close, walk to the other side and repeat. She'll eventually calm down as a result of all the blunt force trauma, and you can set about her with your nail. This forces her into labour, which causes her to give birth, and then you must kill all of her newborn bug babies before you can leave the room. Well done, you have just taken part in the circle of life. Now, we gotta grind Geo, which is this world's fiat currency, obtained purely through murder. Another observation from Team Cherry about capitalism. Wait, is this a video about how Hollow Knight is a criticism of capitalism? No, it's a strategy guide.
It's the children who are wrong.
Explore the starter areas, Crossroads and Greenpath. Try to have fun Be cautious, hang on to that geo, like you're saving for your retirement, and buy all the mass shards you can from Sly, who is now in his shop in Dirtmouth. Find grubs, this is very important. Rescue them and get a primo reward from the Grub Cave. This is like loyalty points to you over 30 gamers, where you trade services and personal information for minuscule rewards. So, rescue 5 grubs for a masked shard. Rescue 10 of them and you will receive the Grubsong Charm, the first part of our Ultimo Old Gamer No Skill build that will destroy even the toughest bosses in the game.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
The Grubsong Charm is very important for this build, as it turns mistakes into resources. It'll be like that time you bought that fancy car you couldn't afford, but instead the finance company pays you interest every month. But, just like life, of which you being over 30 you've nearly had your fill of, am I right? You're still going to have to face some challenges before you get your reward, in the form of an unstoppable, no effort, no nail build. Like the time where you defended yourself against that burglar a bit too enthusiastically.
Round 1, fight!
But the judges were like, nah mate, don't sweat it, here's a key to the city. No, that was a dream. Or an episode of The Simpsons?
I thought there was chocolate inside.
The harsh reality is you're going to have to fight one boss with a little skill and timing. But you can do it. You're over 30. You can do anything.
Go get him, champ.
While exploring Greenpath, finding grubs and hoarding geo, you'll eventually find and defeat, this I promise, Hornet. You'll defeat her, you will. She's got like 3 attacks. Just learn them. I know you're 30 and the brain is starting to decompose in your skull, but you still have the ability to learn 3 things, surely. If not, just forget 3 30-year-old pieces of information, like your ex-wife's name. That time you were cool. And your ex-wife's boyfriend's name. My advice, for Hornet that is, not all the other stuff I just reminded you of, just chill. Don't worry about attacking. Just walk and jump calmly whilst learning those 3 attacks. Then, when you're comfortable, get some safe hits in. Oh, maybe that does have real life applications. Beating Hornet will give you access to the Mothwing Cloak. Where is it? I don't know. This isn't a strategy guide. So, how many notches you got? Because you'll need at least 7 to complete this build. But you're over 30. Of course you got over 7 notches. So in the pursuit of notches, it's very important to develop a relationship with a crazy shut-in. I mean, this crazy shut-in, Salubra. You're over 30, you've met this type before, she lives alone, she's put on a bit of weight and gets all touchy-feely when you show the slightest bit of interest. That's okay. Be nice. You've done worse. You're over 30. Once you've collected a few charms, she'll start selling you notches. So, if you see some in her inventory, grab them. But most importantly, acquire the quick focus charm from her. It's one of the quad that will enable your coasting through the harder parts of the game. And when you've done that, you're halfway to glory, just like being 30. Except that glory is death, right? Right? Next, well, remember that Mothwing dash you got? It's pretty neat, except it sucks. It's half of a movement set. To complete the set, we have to go to the Mantis village. The Mantis Lords have maintained a civilization here, despite the predations of the infection. A proud warrior race.
I think she's gonna kill the green one. I think the green one's gonna lose.
Who will defend their village from your incursion. But they hoard the Mantis Claw, which, when combined with the Mothwing Cloak, gives you unparalleled access to areas of the game that, frankly, you're not ready for. But for now, you just raid the Mantis village, and remember, get the claw, get out. Don't cause a fuss, do not engage the Mantis Lords. You can come and mock their value system later, when you're able to defeat them without drawing your nail. Now, with both the Mantis Claw and Mothwing Cloak, return to the Fungal Wastes, unless you haven't been there already, in which case, head straight there, right now. I mean, this is a pretty cool area. deeply thematic. My second favourite area in the game, actually. Kind of reminds me of Australia. What do you mean? Australia is not just desert and spiders.
Watch out!
They have a snow level with skiing. And they have the Tasmanian temperate forests, which, in the wet season, they do look like the fungal zone. Fungal zone? The fuck is it actually called? Wastes. And they have the Tasmanian temperate forests, which, in the wet season, do look like the fungal zone. It's not a fucking zone. And they have the Tasmanian temperate forests, which, in the wet season, do look like the fungal wastes. See? But one thing that the fungal waste has that Australia doesn't, the spore shroom charm. This insidious charm causes you to exude spores every time you are hit. Like the noble skunk or someone with an untreated PTSD, your pain will now hurt everyone else in a large radius around you. A perfect power for the disgruntled Australian 30-year-old. By now you're feeling pretty cocky, I bet. Swaggering around in the early biomes of Hollow Knight, wrapped in your mothwing cloak drip, flashing your mantis claws and exuding foul spores whenever you feel threatened like some subterranean Kardashian. But now is the true test of your survival skill. You must enter Deepnest, a subterranean nightmare where your fears are made manifest. Your monsters here are hidden, obscured by the darkness. Their furtive scratching and scritching makes you aware of their alien bodies writhing in fetid holes, just waiting to sink vicious mandibles into your soft flesh. But expose your soft flesh to these horrors you must, for godhood awaits, and godhood is only forged through fear and pain. But first, a message from our sponsor. Are you over 30? Glass half empty? Where once there was hope, there is now fear. Well, do we have the service for you? Financial. Here at Millibelle, we harvest your geo and keep it safe from, well, you, I guess. And the tax man. Millibelle saving accounts are tax-free and may even be legal. So don't put your trust in yourself or cash. Instead, trust imaginary concepts like inflation, interest, crummy power, and exotic derivatives. What? Are they even real, those last two? What does real mean, you ask? Unfortunately, that question makes you too smart to invest with us. Instead, go master survival skills, so when all this hocus pocus falls apart, it's you we have to come to, so we can all learn to craft squirrel bits or some such.
You walked the road, brought the bear, then the bull, brought me. Following your tracks. You destroyed something larger than the bear, greater than the bull. And even when you could have turned away, you brought it again.
Thank you so much for your gracious applause. Tonight at the Black Knight Sword Theatre, we are offering a play unlike any other, for you see tonight we shall render the production Deepnest, a horror story for the over 30s. This play tells the story of how you thought it was your plan, but it was all part of their plan all along. You thought you were grabbing that Weaver Song charm in a stunning heist? Wrong! It was part of their plan all along to get you down here, into your own subconscious, to sink their fangs into your soft, exposed flesh. But first, let me introduce the cast. Dirt Carver, C tier. The perfect foil for that overconfident, over 30 gamer. Dirt Carver hangs out underground and, when enraged, scrabbles to the surface and strikes with lightning speed. As we all know, speed is the first thing you lose as you crest the brow of life, and you'll start to panic when facing multiple of this Deepnest foot soldier. What do you say, Dirt Carver? You want to ruin a boomer's day?
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
So, when you're this deep in the nest, you've accrued a lot of bodies, am I right? No, not that kind. The kind that remind you of past misdeeds. No, not that kind. The kind that are corpses. You've taken a lot of bug life by this point. You've taken a lot of bug life by this point, and I can relate. But our next denizen, Corpse Creeper, B tier, is going to ruin all you thought you knew about corpses, because normally they're chill. Corpses, they just tend to hang out and not do much of anything. But now, whenever you slay a random bug and march onwards, you might want to keep your ears open, because in the dark, some foul passenger inside that poor bug may push its legs out through its host carapace and wander the darkness, looking for a new shell to inhabit. What do you say, Corpse Creeper? Do you want to alter the discussion around creepers in the gaming?
You son of a bitch! I'm in!
Stalking Devout. This is an excellent combination of words here, you think? Considering this is just 2 words, they do a lot of heavy lifting. I mean, the combination of stalking and devout, that conjures up images of a fanatical priest hunting something.
Oh hey, I'm in your imagination. Just a friendly Catholic priest who would like to get to know you a little better.
Creepy, no? Truly inspired naming, and when you see the horror the name represents, you'll see why they were so inspired. It lurks large and silent in crevices that its bulk allows it to dominate, and when you step a little too close, it shrieks a godless primal noise. It then lurches with incredible speed towards you, its face splitting in half to reveal madly slashing claws that rend a whole 2 masks worth of life from the small form of the night. Bounce on its head and run away is my advice. You're over 30, it's too late to display bravery. Wisdom is a virtue you'll need here, displayed by getting the F out of D. And you know, wisdom, it's like an old person thing, like arthritis and forgetting, like, you know, words, concepts, something. So, Mr. S. Devout, how do you fancy stalking the minds of elderly gamers and reminding them of the grim spectre of death?
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
After deftly avoiding death in the umbral tunnels of Deepnest, you should eventually find the distant village. But you must temper your urge to explore this sedate yet sinister location. Actually, scratch that bit of thematic prose. Go find the save point and the stag station, so that if you buy the farm finding the Weaver Song charm, you won't have as far to go to get back. As for the Weaver Song itself, this charm reignited my passion for this game. Hollow Knight is a lonely experience, an ancient dusty tomb of a world filled with insidious evil and brazenly self-absorbed, myopic NPCs. So when I activated the Weaver Song and saw, for the first time in this game, true companionship, I was smitten. These little guys have Pokemon spirit. They will jump to your defense in a second, and when you rest, they rest. But more important by far than hinting at my own chronic loneliness is the Weaverling synergy with the other charms we have collected, because that is what this video is really about. Domination through synergy, not fickle companionship. So to prove the superiority of this synergy, I have chosen to demonstrate its power over what is, indisputably, the toughest boss fight in the game. The Watcher Knights. So watch closely as I defeat the toughest fight in the game, without using the nail, and on my first attempt, no less. Just gotta kill this thing. So if you get hit, you gain soul, which is not traditional, yet thanks to the Grubsong, it works. Soul is what you need to heal, the quick focus charm makes healing quicker, and when you heal, it activates a spore shroom, which releases a cloud of toxic spores, which, along with your little weaver friends, will be your damage output. So it's a healing, no nail build. I was pleased. Very pleased that there was such a wacky, low-effort build hiding in the game, to be sure. I always end up using these inappropriate builds, especially in Dark Souls games. Dark Souls stealth build, anyone? Anybody? No? No? Yeah, this combination of spook, hidden body with a whip, wand, dagger combo. It felt a little avant-garde, but who would actually want to fight these guys here? Look at them. They're terrifying. But more often than not, these builds have spiked performance and they tend to burn out towards the end of the game. Not this no-nail healing build though. This will take you through to the end of the game and beyond. It was a pleasure to discover, and it sealed this game in my mind as one of the modern classics, of which I alone am fit to judge because I'm over 30 and Australian. So only one question remains: why all the talk about Australia? Smart viewers out there will be saying Team Cherry because they're based in Australia, but being smart ain't enough on this channel. Other deeper thinkers may be on the bug theme. Australia has bugs. Hollow Knight also has bugs up the wazoo. This theory also lacking. See, the issue is lore. Channel lore specifically. Do you know about the death of BAFC? Have you decoded the number algorithm encoded in slowclap.mp3? No? Then you're just the perfect candidate for this simple transition Easter egg featuring bugs. The clue will of course be in